All right, good evening, everyone. This is Rob Stevenson. I'm going to call to order the Suffolk County Granville Regular School Committee meeting. It is 6:06 on the 13th of April. Can I get a motion to enter into the meeting?
So moved.
And a second. Good. All right. Now, because we have two members on conference calls, we're going to need to do voice votes tonight for everybody. So it's going to slow us down just a little bit. So we're going to take a vote to enter into the meeting.
Russ Fox.
You don't
I'll make the motion.
Yeah, we already did.
Oh,
Second, I just need votes.
I'm sorry,
Voting
Mr.
in.
Chairman.
I just need a
Yes.
yes. Jen. Melissa.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Rob's a yes. All right, Amanda, put that in there. That's 500. Everything's good. All right, we're in. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Super. All right. So consent agenda, we've got a whole bunch of minutes. Amanda caught up. Ryan signed everything off. So we're going to do that on our consent agenda. We have warrants, no warrants.
Oh, warrants. Yes.
Okay. All right, so we have warrants. We'll get those. Superintendent Willard, do we have any correspondence
I
tonight?
do not.
Do not. Those. All right. John, what?
Yeah.
Hit it. What do you got?
Para Appreciation Day was on the first, and on behalf of the students of the Southwick Hall and Granville Regional School District, I'd like to extend our thank you for all the hard work that our paras do, and just say that it is not going. On the 7th, students in the Western Math Right Flight program took part in flying a plane and applying the skills and knowledge they have learned into real-world application. This is made possible by fly out of Farm Airfield. On the 8th, students went to the Career for Life Fair, where students practice financial literacy skills. On the 9th, NHS hosted a blood drive spearheaded by Asher Rose, the NHS president, and there was a lot of blood. Gabriella Andrade won a gold key at the Massachusetts regional level in the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards. This is a national program that recognizes creative work with provision candidates with students. AP exams are coming up, and the DLE ceremony is this Wednesday, where students who took part in the diversified learning experience express their gratitude for their mentors, summarize their work, and discuss what they have taken from the experience. And in addition to that, I could not get the information. I was trying to just want to acknowledge it that there's a C-Tech student that won a very high honor.
Yes, Isabella Horacek. Horacek, yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
And I will do a full little write-up in the next meeting. Hopefully I can get the information.
He's being recognized in Worcester on Thursday night for the state level. It's really big. Yeah. Basically, she's like technical student of the year.
So is that a relation to?
That's Bob Chad's daughter.
Oh,
Cindy and Bob.
awesome.
I should say Robert Jr.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Robert, of course, has passed away and was our chairman of our.
Yeah. Republican Town Committee.
Great girl. Great
Yeah.
girl. You helped me out
Awesome.
on a holiday. She is fabulous. She's had a head on her shoulders. and
Going places.
She is going places.
She is.
That's super. All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. All right. Reports. Superintendent Willard.
Quiet right now on my front because it's budget. And I really don't have anything to present tonight that's of superintendent worthy.
I skipped over educational presentation. We don't have anything on it, all right?
But I'm going to Aruba on Friday. I know you want to know that.
So that's under travel. So travel is later on in the meeting. So
Out of state trips.
it's under
Yeah.
subcommittees and liaison. Travel is on there. So we'll make sure we get an update at that
But
point.
our students are leading on
Yes, I know, I
Friday for
heard.
the Europe trip.
Yes, and I believe one of our school committee reps will be on the trip.
You will be? Oh, excited. Oh my God, that's awesome.
So it's cool. That'll be fun. So what are, remind me, you London and Paris?
Yeah. From Paris to Normandy.
Are you gonna go to, are they going to Omaha Beach, like to see where the?
That's gonna be emotional.
Yeah,
Sure it is, yeah.
Yeah.
all the
Bet you can
process
feel it.
and all the,
Oh,
That's what I heard.
but it's like going to Arlington. but
yes.
Even more solemn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well,
Crazy.
have fun. Have a safe trip. That'll be fun. That's awesome. So this Friday you're leaving
Yes,
out of Boston?
yes.
That's it. There you go. That'll be
I
interesting.
think it's gonna be a long day of travel.
But yeah, so you're gonna be sleeping for most of it. Hopefully it'll be evening flights, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, you landed in the morning. Yeah. Rachel and Zoe did that when we went to Italy too, so not so much fun that way, but you love the time. All right, Nick, what do we got?
I got three things, and I told Jen 7 minutes, so I want to see if I.
Oh, okay.
Amanda had sent you the audit reports for the FY25 audits. I never print them because they're many pages long. I don't know if anybody has any questions about them. I mean, I'll give you a very short summary, starting with the DESI end of the year report one. There was no material findings at all. There's a couple of little clerical errors that needed to get fixed, but you know, that kind of thing happens when you're typing in numbers on a report of that breadth. But nothing, that was easy peasy, no problem. Our regular audit was good as well, like the big one that CBiz does. Financials were good. Our net position improved by about 2 million from 24 to 25, which is good. I mean, you know, all in all with the OPEB liability, it's never going to be great, much like everywhere else with OPEB liabilities. But you know, that I thought that was good. I mean, you make up 2 million in a year, which, you know, just basically the valuation of all our assets and the debt we owe and all that. You throw it all in a blender and they come up with what they call a net position. There's like 7 million in the hole or something a year ago, and it's down to like 5 something now. So it's, you know,
So we're broke, just not as much.
yeah, we're less broke.
Okay.
But I mean, that's everywhere. That's the OPEB liability.
No, I hear you.
So that was, you know, that was fine. The federal grant audit that they do every year, there was a procurement finding. It not like cash related or malfeasance or anything. It was just in the time in which my position and the food service director's positions were vacant last year. There was just a couple of things that didn't have purchase orders attached to them, and one of them was over $10,000, and there wasn't 3 quotes. You know, and then there was no signed contract between the food service vendor and us. The good news is 99% of this has been corrected in this current year.
Okay.
Like, you know, we have a signed contract with Gordon's food service vendor that happened out of the gate when Greta started. Everybody does purchase orders for things. They have to get through me. I mean, we do pay like our electric bills and whatnot off invoices because you can't really do a PO for your heating bill, right?
Right.
But we also will get sole source letters from companies that we need, you know, to have that documentation. We've already done it this year. We've got purchase orders for the things that we didn't
So
have.
nobody's going to jail.
No,
No,
They were looking at this as an extraordinary circumstance. We did a fairly good job and maybe whoopsied a couple things.
Nick would say an exceptional job.
we did a very good job. I mean, I don't like the procurement finding any more than anybody else at this table or listening to the meeting, but as I said, it's been corrected. I mean, there was 2 things out of our IDVA 240 grant that didn't have sole source letters. And you're supposed to get one every year. We had one from a couple of
So
years ago.
even the one that we did where we didn't have the 3 quotes, it isn't like we went out and spent $14 million extra because somebody got a sweetheart deal. We just missed a step, but still got a good rate on what we.
Honestly, it's a sole source. We just needed a sole source.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
So you don't
Either
have to
one.
go to bid.
Yeah,
It was not, it's a sole source. And a lot of special education stuff is a sole source. Like there's only one company that makes this particular thing, but you're supposed to get the letter every year documented in your procurement file. So it was just a little things like that, but that means they will audit those grants again next year.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah, and you know, we're prepared. As I said, it's already pretty much all been corrected at this point for this current year. So, and it was before the findings were.
So it isn't like the graduation certificates or the diplomas that the high school students would get this year would be invalidated.
No, no, and as I said, everything is financial. You know, I lost
what I said, Josh.
I almost got audit board.
I was saying that because of this, it isn't like it's going to invalidate the diplomas seniors get this year. And I was thinking I'd get some sort of ride on the.
sign them, yeah.
Yeah, where are they?
So Nick, what was like the root cause of that? Just curious, like, do we have like,
Turnover.
that's why.
Special ed didn't send them down to us, and it's not something we would know about unless they told us about it, and food service didn't do it, and there was nobody in food service, so we didn't know about it. So with those positions, we didn't.
Yeah, when you have vacancies in big positions.
Yeah.
Sometimes things happen. And honestly, it's, they look at the federal stuff more, I guess, in depth than other stuff, because there's a lot of strings with federal grants, so. So food service and IDEA 240 will be audited again next year, and it will be clean. Yeah.
How long is there a thing like where you have a whoopsie, they do it for 3 years and then you're in the clear, or do they do it for one and then if you're good, you're okay?
They just said next year, so
Okay.
but I did have to write a corrective action plan to submit to the
That makes
federal
sense.
grants clearinghouse, which just included, we need sole source letters for stuff we need sole source letters for. We need to follow procurement procedures, and I need to retrain any staff.
They're just looking to make sure nobody did anything fraudulent.
Yeah, and there was nothing fraudulent, it was all,
That's good.
but, I have to retrain everybody that does purchasing,
Yeah.
and which I'll do at our admin meeting this Thursday.
Okay.
So, it's covered, but again, I have to report it to everybody, much as I do not like that. You can read the corrective action plan, it is in the back of the stuff. Oh, yeah, it was really.
So.
Jen may like it. It's right up her, it's right up her alley.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It sounds like what I do.
The only other thing they suggested two things they suggested we do, I have to clean up our fixed assets, because some of the stuff we don't have anymore, and when you print the thing out of SoftWrite, a lot of stuff that we don't own anymore is still there. It's not valued at anything, it's not like making the numbers
Where
off.
did it go?
Oh, it's like buses we sold to LPVAC and
okay.
stuff that's just devalued and that we surplus years ago. But the problem is, and I'm gonna have to call SoftWrite for this, because you can only pull a report for at the end of a given year. Like, I can't go back 5 years and see what the assets looked like then. You can only do it at the end of last year at this point. So I don't want to start deleting stuff out of there, because I want there to be a record that it was
Right.
there
Right.
at one point, and I just don't know how to do that in the software without possibly losing data. So I'll call them when I have a minute to breathe after the budget season's over, and Jess and I will get it cleaned up.
Okay.
It's not a finding or anything. It was just kind of like a suggestion. And they also would like the school committee to vote on our grants manual, which is one of the other things I need you guys to do tonight.
Okay. Is that in the thing? Did we add it to the?
It was in the packet. I believe it's in action. Yeah, it's the internal control manual for federal grants. It's
So,
basically, I took something that we had and I updated it with some new procurement thresholds and whatnot. I needed to do so for our fiscal monitoring for IDEA this year that Robin and I did. It's about a 58 or so page manual, and just kind of walks through procurement procedures, grant drawdowns, just kind of the nuts and bolts. We have the manual, but I guess years ago, the school committee never voted on it. Because they sent me a draft one from a couple of years ago, like Steve must have done it. And but it had the word draft all over it. And they said, has this ever been voted on? And I went through the school committee minutes for years and I couldn't find a vote anywhere. So I don't think it's ever been
well, we're
done.
gonna vote on it tonight. That solves that problem.
And yeah, so, but that wasn't a finding either. That was just a like, please get this done for next year kind of thing, which we, so. Okay, so that tackles two things. The other thing that I need to ask is permission to surplus a couple of items. I know last year we talked about the snow scraper briefly.
That's on top of the buses, right?
Yeah, the yellow thing over there near the bus garage. I know there's a few different groups interested in it. But I'll have to like advertise it and basically put it out the bid. And then
How much do you think we'll get for it?
I don't know, but we paid 27,510 for it back in FY19. That's with installation and everything.
So you think, Joe, how about 150,000 we can get for that scraper?
Which it comes with 4% of marijuana money.
I mean, the stipulation is whoever buys it's gonna have to remove it themselves. Like, we're not gonna do that. So they're gonna, but I'll have to advertise it, I believe, on Central Register as well as around here and on our website. And, you know,
Somebody will want it though.
Someone will-
Oh, didn't that, doesn't that want it?
Yeah, I think Wally.
Krensky, I've had a couple of,
Yeah.
Several people.
Yeah. and that's
Hey.
why we follow 30B disposal
Put it on
procedure.
eBay, put a bid, put an auction on it, let her go, see what.
Highest
see what
bidder
it
would-
goes.
Yeah, that's what, because it's over 10 grand, I gotta follow 30B to do that, so, second thing are these milk dispensers that were purchased due to a fabricated milk carton shortage that people were afraid about for a week back in 2024. The food service department at the time spent, there's 4 milk dispensers, $16,686.80. 3 of them are, yeah, $16,680.80 for these 4 things together, not.
For the record, I said I didn't agree with it. I was up.
Anyway, 3 of them are still in the box, hadn't been opened, and the
Oh.
other one has been taken out of the box, but
Can
not
we take them
used.
back?
Not now. It's been well, but you know who buys stuff like this is colleges,
Yeah.
universities with large dining halls. You know, because the kids there are getting.
Well, I do know somebody that's in charge of the dining services up at UMass,
That one,
so I can ask her if she wants to buy some
And we'll
Brand new.
advertise.
expensive brand new milk dispensers at a cut rate price.
Yeah, and we'll put it out to bid just like the scraper, and if someone takes, I mean, if we can only get rid of the in the box ones, that's fine. I guess we keep the one that's opened, and
Do
I
we
mean,
use it?
we haven't yet, but what?
I said I don't even want to talk about this.
This is a trigger for Superintendent Willard. I mean,
So is this something where you put the great big bags in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a kid at Woodland using that?
I don't even talk about
I-
this.
Like,
It's tough getting the cow in there. I really.
I'm like, I can just see these great big long tubes going to the cow, and you're like,
I mean, if we end up having to keep one, like in theory, maybe the regional school could use it because those, kids can probably carry a
Yeah,
glass of milk better than
all
their
right,
average.
okay.
I refused it, talking about. Yep, I was like, no, we're not doing it. You can start it up at the regional school, she said.
Yeah,
We're
all
not
right.
making stuff.
So I'd like to sell those 2 items with your
Is
blessing.
that on our, do we need to vote on that, or do you just
I
need a
think
verbal?
you do. I just wanted you to know I'd like it to happen. That's
And
all.
2 pianos, so.
Oh yeah, well those are valueless according
Yeah, right.
to so I'd be asking your
With
we,
2 pianos?
they're in a storage unit that the drama club currently is paying for, and they're just we've tried to donate them to various
Well, Dennis doesn't want them.
it's very hard to try to
No.
Woodland doesn't want them, like nobody wants them, they're old, they're
Oh.
not in good shape, so I mean
Can come get it usually.
Yeah, and we had this lovely person who wants to keep donating her pianos to the school, and she takes offense to the fact. We have to tell her that.
Sell them
I
on
put
eBay
it
or
to the
something like that?
principal,
Have
you
some-
know what's in.
I mean I'll advertise them along with the other things. I doubt any
For one,
but like
Free milk dispenser.
if nobody bites, do I have your permission to just get rid of them?
Yeah.
Fine, give it
Okay.
Jen's like,
Get rid of it.
oh, so you want to get rid of it?
Yeah.
The Rotary has an organ.
Is is yours worse than the one, because maybe you can upgrade and get one of the ones from the school?
It's not tuned, I can tell you that.
They've been in this thing for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, but, I mean, I will try to.
If we don't need to vote, then go for it. If we need to vote, we can add it to the consent agenda, so. Or not consent agenda, we can add it to an action item.
I don't.
Do we need to vote on it?
You do,
I
but
don't think you do.
Okay.
I think he's following the rules of.
Okay, that's
house.
yeah, I just wanted
Just
you
like
to
the
be.
way-
Yeah, oh, you're notifying us.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted
Okay,
you to be
cool.
aware. Yeah.
All right.
And that's it for me. Unless anyone has any.
Are you going over anything about the budget or no?
Do you want to pop that in new business?
We
maybe?
can. I didn't know if you wanted to do it in your
I mean,
report section.
I have to do the vocational update.
Oh,
I
that's
was gonna
fine.
do
Let's wait till-
their, when he does the budget.
That's fine. All right, so you're done?
Yeah.
All right, public comment. Mr. Didi, do you have anything for public comment? Because you're the only one here.
Wait, I didn't, but I do now.
Okay.
So DD 258 Feeding Hills Road, Suffolk, Mass. Do you guys still take purchase orders?
Yes.
Why would you do that? Oh,
No,
for
we don't take-
accountability?
We give them.
We give a purchase order.
Yeah. You still take them, you just do it as part of your process.
Yes.
Yeah, because you have to, it encumbers the fund, so we don't end up overspending stuff.
It's basically a good check and balance.
Very good check and balance.
Wow. Yeah, that's wow. Thank you for your time.
Okay. All right, policies. We gotta meet with Liz to finish those up.
We got a bunch.
All right. We are going to hold off on action items right now because we're gonna need to add one. We're gonna rearrange this.
Okay,
Let's hold off on the action items till after we have any other sort of, I wanna do it after old and new business before we're done.
okay.
All right, do we have anything for subcommittees that anybody needs to report on? Capital? No. Wellness, I don't think anybody meets.
Yes, the wellness policy just came back from the first revision from the John Stalker Institute. And it will be revisited by our coach and then go to Desi for approval, and then it will come to school committee. So by the end of the year, you guys will have a brand new wellness policy. That is a year in the work.
Very good. All right. Those things around it. I don't think there's anything else going on. All right, old business. Anybody got anything for old business?
Is that our budget?
Budget, old business or new
Yeah.
business?
Old.
Let's do it on, let's say it's old, because we've already talked about it. So,
Yeah.
all right. So we got a couple things to talk about from a budget side that's gonna turn into an action item here in a minute. Nick, why don't you start and then we'll go from there.
No, it's not good enough.
Oh, yeah, okay, so Jen, go for
Mine's
it.
quicker.
What's your update?
So WTA, so there's a new lottery system in place this year. And so at the beginning of the year, we had said, Granville had sent 4 applications to WTA, Southwick had sent 12 applications to WTA. Tolland had sent 1 application to WTA. So we sent a total of 17 applications to Westfield Technical Academy. The amount of kids we have graduating this year, we have 5 kids graduating from Granville and 5 kids graduating from Southwick. So had those numbers come to fruition, which every year so far, the amount of kids that we have had apply have gotten in. That did not happen this year with the lottery. We just got our latest numbers, and out of the 12 kids that applied from Southwick, only 5 students got into WTA. And out of the 4 students that that applied from Granville, only 1 got in, and the one from Tolland did not get in. So out of 17 applications to WTA, only 6 applications were accepted.
Wow.
Southwick has 1 student graduating this year from Smith. We do know we have 2 students from Southwick who have applied to Smith, and we haven't got the Smith numbers yet. So right now, it looks pretty much like Southwick is going to be a wash. And it looks like Granville, as of right now, is losing 4 out of district students. And we did just recently get the out of district assessments for vocational schools, and WTA went down a little bit and Smith went up a little bit. So,
But we've got a lot more kids at WTA than Smith.
yes,
Which means that overall, the out of district assessment is gonna be less this year than it was last year, correct? So it won't need to go above 700,000. Is that,
that 700,000, mind you, also includes $220,000 in chapter 70 and the vocational tuition that is already in the school department's budget. So when they ask for 759,000, they really don't need that much money, as I told Mr. Didi last year at the town meeting.
so what do they need?
Probably closer to about 400,000 or 500,000,
You gotta throw a little in there for special ed services too,
Yeah.
because those,
but it's not.
it's
So
not.
in the town budget, if they budgeted for $1 million.
Yeah.
They were over budgeted by 500,000.
About. Because they haven't included the 220,000 in,
Well, they included it on the revenue side, but they didn't account for it.
well, they put in an
Jen, how
assessment
many
of
kids,
700.
are
Oh, they
gonna be
put,
going next
okay,
year?
so it would have been a delta. So they put in
Yes.
an assessment of 700, but that should be the delta of the expenses and the revenues.
Correct.
As to
And
what
the
they need to fund.
transportation was put into that assessment as well, which we already have in the school department budget.
Right, so we
They're paying
technically
off.
just found a $500,000 to the town assessment tonight. Right? And so you absolutely, I'm gonna open the floor, so here, the,
That's wonderful, but, and I have the blame, I guess. It doesn't translate well over there.
no,
It just doesn't. So I don't know if we need to hire your gentleman right there to help us.
don't.
with our- No, but we're apparently doing something wrong on our side.
Well, I think,
We are.
and this is gonna be
And-
something
and-
that,
and if we can borrow him to look at our numbers, which no one else will approve of course, but we need real eyes on us, and we don't have that. And I'm not being disrespectful.
no,
It's
not at all.
everybody.
This is one of the things that I actually want to talk about, that I think as the budgets get more difficult and more difficult, I think number one, what we've got to try to make sure that everybody on the town side understands, and it's not just Southwick, Brandon,
No, absolutely.
everybody.
Yeah.
I don't think that there is a clear understanding of what comprises the school budget to begin with. What's net school spending? What's chapter 70? What's that extra 4.2 million delta?
The non-net.
The
the
non-discretionary required amount that has to get paid. Then what's left over is technically discretionary amount that we need from the towns to be able to satisfy the budget that the school puts together. That's the wiggle room. I think we've got people on the finance committee side that, and even on the town side, that have thoughts that, oh, well, I mean, we can just tell the school that, I mean, they're increasing their budgets by 10% every year, and we should just be able to do it to 2. Well, no, it won't work, because the state dictates what we have to do for the vast majority of it. I think if people had a better understanding of what comprises the school budget, it's gonna make it a lot easier when you're trying to figure out what delta looks like and what's actually available to reduce on. Because I just don't think that there's a clear understanding, and I don't think that's a big leap. I think it's challenging. It took me years to understand what I've got, and I just found out tonight that I messed up a little bit on it. So it's not an easy topic to get a grasp on.
It's a rush topic. That's how I see it. We sit down with you guys, numbers are thrown all over the place, high, low, right? I get up and bitch every year, get out of speech, and you guys work with us, you truly do.
Yeah.
But it's still just big numbers thrown around. It's not
Well,
dumbed down.
which is
to
crazy
understand
because
the realistic part of all of this.
yeah, because the craziness is that obviously it's quite clear. The school budget out of the town budget is more than 50% of the budget.
It is.
And this year, out of all of them, and I think it's because the what we got before we hit at 2.5% is very, very thin. Everybody at the 11th hour is trying to figure out, well, wait a minute.
Yes.
Now we've realized that the school budget's big, which has always been big.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to solve it, and it's not solvable in 2 weeks. But I want to start tonight, and I think as a community, the 3 communities, we need to do a better job on the school side, helping the towns understand what the budget and how that budget is put together, and what really is discretionary and what we can adjust, and what it looks like. Because it can't just be broken down to where it's one graph. And here you go, there's the school cost. Because without all the information inside it, it doesn't make any sense, and it looks like, oh God, they're just kind of, it's like there's a free checkbook over here and everybody just gets whatever they want, it goes up 10% and bingo. I mean, we have, over the last 5 years, we've had 23 positions eliminated. So, and I don't even know if there's been 23 positions eliminated over at the town. I know that they're doing a 10% reduction. It's not really 10% that works out to less than that, but there has been positions lost.
Mhm.
I mentioned last week when I was speaking with one of the select board members and the CAO that if we as a district were to come forward with just a net school spending and non-discretionary, like the transportation budget, that if we just wanted to present that, the difference would be about $2.5 million. Well, $2.5 million equates to 30 staff positions.
Teachers.
I know the towns want us to be frugal. I don't know whether the towns want to go to that kind of massacre. Because to remove 30 positions out of this school budget would be potentially catastrophic. To try to keep everything even into a semblance of a reasonable sort of product that we're putting out. Is there somewhere in between where we can be smart and strategic and eliminate some positions and reorganize things to make it work? I absolutely think we can. But I think in order to get everybody that's got to make these decisions, they've got to have a better baseline understanding of what the heck this budget even looks like. And not have to feel like they want to start ripping open the hood and go, let's go line by line. Okay, that's a waste of time. We need to try to look at the bigger things and say, okay, do you even understand how this thing was put together and how it's presented to you? Because we haven't done a great job in that over the years, and it hasn't been a big problem, but now it is. So we've got to make it cleaner.
But that's why I put the Y page in,
Yep.
because the Y page will go line by line about, and it makes up about, was it 1.9 out of the
Oh,
two
yeah.
point 1% increase? And the only things we could really touch were assessment materials and staff raises. And so those were the two lines we touched. Besides that, everything else were just fixed costs, like it was insurance and what do you call it? Pensions for Hampden County and it was just
The
everything.
delta between
Delta.
other revenue.
Yeah, we had to
sources that
take out
tried
less
to use.
E&D and less
Yeah.
school choice and.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's where it continues to get more difficult,
Right.
Because at least since I've been on the school committee, which will be what, it'll be 5 years now at the end of this year. We have done a much better job from a budgeting perspective to try to get realistic expectations and sort of goals. But the downside of that is it's shrunk our free cash, our E&D, our school revolving accounts, because those would get filled up if we budgeted for X and we only needed X minus 50. So all that extra money would go into our E&D funds, which allows us to offset the assessments for the town for the following year. Well, as you get better in the budgeting, when your budgeting improves, the fluff goes away. So therefore it doesn't go into E&D. Like one thing that I think and this isn't a thing we need to do tonight, but one thing that we need to do sooner than later, Nick, is I need to get a baseline number that we want to have, that we don't want to go below for E&D, school choice, and what's the third one?
Circuit breaker.
Circuit break. Like what is almost to where it makes it simpler, like, okay, here's the number that we have to keep for emergencies. Because what we don't want to do is if we need to go buy a box of pens, we don't want to have to send a warrant to the towns to get a special meeting to buy pens. Because we budgeted so tight and we got rid of all of our E&D and there's no money left over. But we should have, and we can work with the towns on it and say, okay, this is what we think is realistic to keep in that emergency fund. Anything excess, we'll give back to the towns, but they've got to understand that number is going to get tighter and tighter as we do better budgeting.
And if we just meet net school spending, there will be zero E&D because we have
Right.
to meet net school spending.
Yeah.
And if we don't meet it,
Well, you gotta make it up.
you gotta make it up the
Yeah.
next
So
year.
it's
So there's no savings when you
net
do, yeah.
net school spending is not the way to go. And when I was having some conversations last week, I misunderstood. And I knew there was extra there. I knew there was extra cost there, but net school spending for us, if I guesstimate, it's a 23 million,
It was
500,
23 and change.
something like that. And then the extra is 4 and a bit. So you're looking at 28 million. And we put forward a discretionary number in total of about 2.5, 2.1. So there's the extra. But out of that 2.5, most of it is stuff that was out of our control that it just went up.
Yeah.
So it's we kind of get caught.
And I do want to throw Grace out there because when we talked to WTA about these budget numbers, I did tell Nicole Parker to go up on that because they told us that they didn't even have enough kids from Westfield Middle School applying, so they might have more than 25 openings. And when I looked at having 12 kids and only 5 leaving, I said I would budget for at least 7 or 8. So to be honest, I did tell her to go up a little bit in her numbers and not to level fund because I didn't want you guys to be short.
But we didn't tell her to go to $1 million, though, right? And that didn't include not including the
I told her
revenue stream
for an
that
extra
came in.
few kids.
Okay, no,
Yes.
that's fine.
I did.
So that can get cleaned up.
Yeah, listen,
That'll work.
our model this year, apparently, they've decided to just go up 2.5%. Which we've never done in Southwick.
Yeah.
We've always had a cushion, always. And with that, and with new growth, I think we're at 760 is a rough number out there.
Yeah.
So our new growth is way down. And,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of things that attribute to that, right?
Mm.
Of course there is.
Yeah.
And then we look at our free cash of 4,000,000, 3.8 that we're all joking about.
Yeah.
And every year we put X towards our tax, we
Yeah.
do what we do with it, but same thing, the cliff is there. There's no 4 million next year.
Yeah, no, because
There's
they.
no 4 million, just like you guys, right? Like,
Which-
so now we're all watching really close and going, oh my God, look what the school's doing. Because
Right.
we're not as fat as we used to be.
Yeah.
Just like you guys.
Right.
And next year, I don't know where any of us
Well,
stand.
the challenge is gonna be, I mean, realistically, okay, the challenge is gonna be, even if we go in with like a really low discretionary amount that we absolutely need. If history repeats itself, the minimal local contribution is gonna go up another $300,000 to $400,000.
It is.
So if that happens, and we just keep, like, and if we do cuts, but not the,
Right.
yeah, like the warehouse, the fire sale. There may not be there might not be anything to do, you may run into a 2.5%.
Oh, it's
Like, there may not be, you may not have a way around it.
correct.
And I just, from our side, what I really want us to start looking at is, we start working on fiscal year 28 tonight.
Yeah.
And part of that is, we need to have a good outreach program to the town so that they understand better how in a like a basic elementary school level, like what's our budget look like, so that it's not this big unknown right now, because right now it's this big beast that nobody really understands it. And that's creating confusion, it creates challenges. It's got to be easier on the finance committee side if they have a better overall understanding of what this budget looks like, because then that conversation gets easier.
It does.
And from coming from a superintendent, is the town willing to give up sports? That's $400,000 out of the school budget.
Right.
Are they okay with class sizes of 28, 29? Or like, if parents know what it's gonna look like if we level fund, they may say, don't do this, and we will go for a 2.5 override. Because they won't want to see their kids'
Absolutely.
education, like having that kind of an impact, and it would devastate.
See, the other thing that we've got to try to remember, and we talked about this earlier, Jen and I did, we are in a very advantageous position with respect to comparing other districts, where we are a net importer of students.
Yes.
We have a lot more people coming in from a school choice perspective, which from a financial end brings in extra money that we normally wouldn't get. If you're gonna get to that point where you cut too far, then now we won't be the district of choice, and they'll all go, which means now you're gonna have, it's just gonna make a bigger budget deficit hole, and you're gonna have to cut more. And then you're never gonna catch up to that. So we've got to be careful, but I just want everybody to understand, like, from school committee perspective, from a teacher's perspective, from a district perspective, and from a town side, I am certainly hearing loud and clear from everybody that I've spoken to over the town that they want us to be more frugal, and they want us to take a hard look at what we've got from a budget perspective to make sure that what we're recommending and what we take over to them is absolutely necessary. Is that a fair assessment?
I think everybody's running scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
Yeah, I agree. The state,
The state has not helped us one bit.
no.
the state everywhere. East Hampton has a 3.8 million deficit in their school budget, and they're the same size as us.
There you go.
Yeah. So I mean, it's look. Do I think that there's a way through this? Yes. Do I think we're smart enough to figure out how we can maybe do things a little differently? Yes. One thing I do want to bring up right now, so that we can add it to action items in light of all these conversations that I've had. What I want to propose tonight is that, and Melissa and Ryan, are you guys still with us? You guys still hear us?
Back up.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. So what I'm looking to propose tonight is, I heard that we will be getting a request from the town of Southwick. I don't think we have it yet, but I was talking with one of the select board members who mentioned that they were going to discuss this tonight at their meeting. That they're going to be looking for us to sort of relook at our budget to see if there's anything extra that we can do. Without diving in and picking up the hood and trying to frankly, we don't have the time to do that. But what I think we do have the time to do, and I've already talked to Nick about it, is typically we normally would pull about $100,000 extra out of E&D when we would go and meet with the town of Southwick. I think what I'd like to do is put forth a motion tonight that we do that we're gonna pull an extra 100,000 out of E&D. We will send updated warrant articles to the towns. That'll make it an easy math project, because then it's just Southwick's gonna have an $85,000 reduction, because they're about 85% of it. Granville and Tolland have their commensurate reduction. If they've already sent warrant articles out to get printed, they can just do a motion on the floor to adjust that
Yeah.
the thing right
Article,
then,
the article.
so we can do that. Now, does that solve the problems? No, because that would have been 100,000 we would have had next year, but it buys us a little wiggle room now. We're not gonna be in a horrible spot. We can start looking internally to make sure that we're running everything tighter, because then we can try to save up. We save some of that money back. But I think that might be a smart move that we can make that's not painful, but it certainly might give enough wiggle room to the towns to breathe just a little bit better. So that we can get through this budget season and this town meeting. And then we're gonna have to start looking at this
Yeah,
harder as we go forward.
a thought. Just because I came from a districts that were town-based
Yeah.
and city-based, I'm wondering if we get a working group started between the FinComs of the three districts, and they come up with the three towns.
Yeah.
They come up with, what do you want to see from the schools? Like, what are your priorities in your schools? And they convey it to our school committee. Because I honestly think, like, if they just say, this is the number we want, I don't think that translates into, what do you want out of your schools? What are your priorities in your schools? And let the school committee know. And that would help us, I think, too, be able to make some decisions. So when we present to you a budget, we've listened to you, we've listened what your priorities are, what you're interested in, and we bring forward a budget that meets the needs of the school committee, who's in charge of the budget, but it also reflects the concerns of the three towns that we represent.
I don't know, I think that might be a good idea, but I might take it one step further, that if we're gonna do this, we could have like the finance committees get together,
Yes,
have like a little powwow, but I'd like to open it up for the public.
yes.
We can have like in the fall, well before we do anything,
Budgets.
have a couple, like a listening
Yes.
meeting at Granville, Tolland, and Southwick, where the town can come in. We look, that's why I wanted to bring this up tonight.
I think it's great, Rob.
FY 28 starting tonight, and we're looking at challenges. So I need to hear from the towns, I need to hear from the public.
Yep.
What are you looking at? What are you not looking at? What are you willing to sacrifice? What aren't you willing to sacrifice? So that we can kind of put this together
Yep.
and figure this out.
And students,
Yeah. Cause I mean, it's gonna be,
tough year. And I'm
Well,
leaving, so
no, I know, I
that
know.
weighs
Well,
heavily on me,
that's
so,
okay. So if we're gonna do this, let's do it right.
okay.
Okay, so
You,
what else we got, Nick? I
Nick's
think I
got the
kind
little
of touched on
motion ready
most
to
of it,
go over
right?
there.
Yeah, I mean, now that you've introduced it, I serendipitously came up with some language that would reflect the new assessments for the three towns with 100,000 extra applied to E&D as a revenue source rather than coming from the towns.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, I'm gonna have to read through this whole good time again.
Okay,
Like
so what we can do is we'll do that when we'll put a motion on under action items for E. I can do that here in a couple minutes. Does anybody have any questions or comments about this? Ryan, Melissa, anything from you two? You guys still there? Hello?
Ryan, Melissa? Hello?
The phone call appears as still active, but it's not saying.
There- No, that's fine, because I'm like, okay, I need at least one, because I don't have a quorum. All right, any comments from either of you two?
No.
Okay, all right. Anybody else at the table?
No, I think you spelled it out. You know, we need to get all the players together.
Yep, we
You
do.
know, I've told Jen, I was on the other side for quite a few other years, and now I've been educated. And we need more people to be educated to understand
Yeah.
the challenges that not just Southwick,
No.
all school systems are facing,
Yes.
especially here in Massachusetts.
Mhm.
Our limitations, we don't know when a special needs student is gonna come along.
Yeah,
So they up the tuition in the middle of the
Yup.
school year.
$47,000.
Right, I mean, these are unknowns, and that's not like a town budget.
Correct.
Yes, we have unknowns that happen, but not like this.
Right.
And I don't think there's an appreciation of that. And just, you people told me about the class sizes.
Yep.
I come from the old school, 30 kids in a classroom. And, I know that's very hard to achieve in this day and age.
It is.
Here today on the national news, they were talking about, social media, the concern.
Oh.
The average, kid is now 7.5 hours. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
No.
That's not a good sign. So I think getting working groups, getting
Yeah.
more people involved.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna open up the public, and a
Yeah.
lot of the public are gonna be concerned parents. We need to get
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
Involved. We need to get some senior citizens that
Yeah.
have been invested in this town for so many years. Make sure they understand.
Yeah.
And we have to reach out and let people, because this is everybody's problem.
And I talked to Principal Rude over at Woodland School, and she's going to invite the school committee in, and if the select boards would like to come as well, to see what it looks like in an elementary classroom during instruction. To really get a true picture of what it looks like now, and that the teacher's not standing in front of the room. And it's actually like an art to watch an elementary school teacher teach reading, the science of reading. And I think it will bring it to life and understand it better when we say we can't have 30 kids in a class, because you will very clearly see why you can't have 30 kids in a class. And it's not just something we're saying, it's just not practical under the new way of teaching with data and being data driven in the small groups within the classroom. So I said that was a great idea, and I'm gonna be sending an invitation out to go into the classrooms to see it.
Good.
And I think it's a great idea.
All right. I'm gonna open.
Even 20 is like a stretch.
20 is a lot.
I mean, I volunteered for years when kids were younger.
Mhm.
It's just hard.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine being up at that level.
When I had 30 kids in Springfield, it was basically, I was the sage on the stage. There was no small group. There was not much differentiation, because it was crowd management is what it was. It was crowd management.
Judy, since I've opened this up, any comments?
Yeah, we should get together, right?
Yeah.
And then shame on those who don't show. It's unfortunate, we see you guys on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, we throw some numbers out.
Yeah.
Half my townspeople don't say a word. Yeah, here we are tonight asking you, we're getting a letter to ask you to help us out a little bit.
Yeah.
That should have been discussed weeks ago.
Well, yeah, and I
No, it
think
should have been. It
timing
should have been,
was
but
off.
it's not timing, it should have been discussed.
Yeah,
But the problem too is, we don't know everything, right?
right.
So we just see big numbers on, and
Yeah.
beautiful presentation, and we all move on. So yeah, if we can get together 3 or 4 times.
No, I guess
before
my
that,
question is, because I know you guys are meeting tomorrow night, correct?
Yeah,
Would it be helpful if I showed up to kind
I would love for you to show up.
I
I don't know what we have planned, because we're just an advisory board on the finance committee now. Yeah, I would love for you to.
I mean, I
Only
don't mind-
because
I don't mind coming, just
there's
because
concerns, and it'd be nice to, let's get everything out in the open and get that
there's
here.
great concerns, but I mean, it's not. Trying to solve this between now and the 17th, when we have town meeting, is not gonna work, but I am certainly committing myself, and I think I've got the support of my committee, that we're open to doing things differently, so we don't run into this going forward.
Right.
And if there's a piece of this that we can help solve, we are more than willing to be able to do that.
I think all townspeople are open.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of the trying times ahead of us coming and are not going away.
Right.
Right, the state's gonna get worse and worse when it comes to a good functioning school, you're gonna get punished.
Yeah.
And that doesn't stop.
Well, I mean, hopefully.
But-
We'll get like a nice
Turn
regional, no, but like maybe the regional funding or the
Rural school aid.
will say will come
Okay,
through.
stop it. Stop it.
I don't know what you're doing tomorrow night, and I need to assign you something, but you bring the perspective of the town side and the school side, and you understand now the school budget, like special ed could throw, one kid could throw us off $100,000. $200,000, one kid could throughout the course of the year, that are not in our budget, and they're totally unexpected costs. You bring a really unique perspective, understanding how a school operates and how the town operates, so I don't know what you're doing.
When's your meeting at tomorrow? 7, 6?
Oh, no, I think, 5:30.
Oh, okay. Land use,
I
right?
do.
Who knows?
No, I've spoken to Southwick Finance Committee people,
Okay.
you know, individually.
Yeah.
You know, because especially some that,
Yes,
you know, and I've tried to explain to them, you know, that minimum contribution. I don't think a lot of people understand that, you know, the fact that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts says, Ben, you have to do this. All right. It's kind of like when I was an assessor. You have to agree, they have to certify your numbers. Other than that, you cannot send out a tax bill. So the Commonwealth has you over a barrel.
yes,
You know, you have to jump. But this thing is ludicrous.
it is.
It's just, and the fact that, not to repeat this, but I'm gonna repeat it. The Fair Share Act, the millionaire tax, that was sold as going to education and roads.
Yep,
And when they have a vote, not even a roll call vote, but just a voice vote, and vote down not fully funding rural aid
Oh,
is
I
a
see.
disgrace, is an absolute disgrace. And then throw a couple of $1 million out of $1.25 billion.
yeah, 4 million.
Yeah, it's unbelievable,
It is.
unbelievable.
And they're still out there saying that it's going to rural education.
I-
You see it on the news constantly.
Oh, absolutely. It's a campaign game, you know, and that's the problem. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen on both sides in different states. It does. But it's got to end. It just has to end because it can't continue.
Can't,
And it's not just,
not us.
it's on the news every night.
Every night. It's in our mask thing, every single
Whether
day.
it's South Hadley or East Hampton
Yup,
or,
East Hampton.
right? So we're all dealing with it.
Who was it? When I was at my CVSR meeting, sorry, not my meeting, but last Friday, I asked all the superintendents in the room, I said, please put your hand up if you're a superintendent, if you're making 5 or more like layoffs this year. Every hand in the room went up.
Yeah.
I mean, to a place like Hatfield and Southwick Valley, Granville and Mohawk Trail, it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
All right, so are we good with this? All right,
Good stuff.
I think it's ready where we are.
are we at a point where we don't have any like glaring questions that are like, wait a minute, I don't understand this? Okay, so let's go to, oh, wait. One more on new business, or let's go to new business. Evaluation process.
And I don't know why it's on here. It's a 2-year evaluation, so
No,
I'm
no, I
gonna
know.
give you my mid-year goals. at the
So
end of the year.
that's right, so we voted and Amanda reminded me what we said we were gonna do. So we're gonna have you. One of the last meetings,
Yeah.
probably the last meeting, because the one before the last meeting could be interviews for superintendent at that meeting. You're gonna give us an update on your goals.
Yeah.
So that we can go over them, and then what'll happen is your final evaluation will be at the end of next year. I don't know how we timed that perfectly, but I guess we'll figure that out. Okay, so, and then just a quick update, I did talk to Liz LaFond. There were not dozens, there were 5 or 6 applicants that have come in. They're going through them. She's gonna send me a list of people that were verified and cleared, and then we can reach out to them to set up initial interviews with the interview committee. And then once we've got them, that committee is going to then put forward some finalists that we were going to have some open nights at the schools so that the public can come and meet them. And then that will completely culminate in a interview in front of the school committee, public, at our first meeting in June, right? Is that what we decided we were gonna look at?
Yes.
Okay,
Just show you how things have changed in 10 years.
Yeah.
When I interviewed for this job, there were 5 finalist candidates. I'm hearing you
We may not
say
even get 5 like
It-
semifinalists.
only had 5 people apply for
Yeah.
these jobs. So when people want to say that there's all these qualified applicants out there, people need to also understand that there are not, nobody's taking these jobs anymore.
Yeah.
And that is shocking to me that only 5 it's actually not, but there were
Well,
5
we knew there
finalists.
wasn't gonna be a lot. Liz told us that
I know.
the coffers were low, but the nice thing is that we certainly heard from multiple different areas that we wanted to have an open search.
Yep.
Well, fine, we've done that. Let's see what we've got and then we'll move forward and see if we can at least get one thing sort of resolved before the chaos of budgets and all that fun stuff take over.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back up to action items. Let's get through those and then I will add an E that Nick's gonna help me with. We're gonna do an E together. All right, off you go.
Move to approve consent agenda items as listed above, recommended.
So moved.
Second.
All right, and anybody any questions on this? Actually, we're not consent agenda. We're gonna go right to a roll call vote. Okay, Russ,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Melissa?
Yeah.
Ryan?
I think Brian had to leave.
Oh, Ryan had to leave? Oh, 7 o'clock, right? Okay, so we're down to 4, 5. No,
4.
we're still at 4. That's good. Okay, Melissa's a yes, Rob's a yes. Amanda, that motion passes 4-0-0. Okay, B.
Move to approve school choice seats for 26-27, recommended.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Anybody have any questions on this? What do we got?
About 5 per classroom, but none during the transition year, they're not in grade 12.
That's good. But that
We
This
can always
is-
open more once we get our kindergarten.
this is a
covered.
smart, this is revenue coming in when we had school choice seats, right? So this is not bad. So we keep filling the classrooms up. There's still people wanting to come in to see us. This is a good thing, and I'm glad we moved this to where we do this quarterly, because that brings these kids in, they don't have to wait.
And they stay.
We got it. All right, we're gonna do a voice vote on this. Russ,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Melissa,
Yeah.
Rob's a yes. Amanda, motion passes 4-0-0. C.
Move to approve MECO program for the 26-27 school year, recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Why would we not want to do this?
Correct.
We've got how many kids in the MEXCO program here?
40. 22?
And that's been a successful program for years. It gives kids opportunities to come out here and spend time with us and
And we learn from them.
absolutely. All right. And got any other questions, comments on this? All right, we're gonna do a roll call vote. Russ,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Melissa,
Yeah.
Rob's a yes. Amanda, that motion passes 4-0-0. D.
Move to approve internal control manual for federal grants, recommended.
So moved.
Second.
This is Nick's baby, right?
Mhm.
So that we can get this cleaned up?
Yeah.
All right. Obligatory, has to happen. No little secret.
They wanted a vote, and I
Nope.
couldn't find anything in the minutes for the last 3 years.
Right. Well, you're gonna get it.
I got it.
Are you recording it? Because here it comes. All right, here we go. We're doing voice vote. Russ,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Melissa,
Yes.
Rob's a yes. Next motion passes 4-0-0. All right, so E, we want to have a move to approve an additional $100,000 we pulled out of E&D to be added to the assessment to the towns, which will reduce their assessment for each individual town for fiscal year 27 recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Did I do that good?
Yeah, do you want me to read?
Yeah, why don't, because I'm not reading, well, I could read it if you want, but
No, I don't mind.
go right ahead. So this is gonna be the new breakdowns.
Yeah.
With the $100,000 additional in revenue.
Yes, forgive me because this takes a while.
It does.
Move to approve the fiscal year 2027 Southwick Tallinn Granville Regional School District amended assessments to the member towns as follows. Operating assessment for transportation, Southwick at an apportionment percentage of 85.310 and an assessment of $1,163,471. Tolland at an apportionment percentage of 2.128. The assessment is $30,249. Granville at an apportionment percentage of 12.472. The assessment is $170,095. The capital assessment for Southwick at an apportionment percentage of 83.114. The assessment is $1,658,256. Tolland at an apportionment percentage of 3.752. The assessment is $74,858. Granville at an apportionment percentage of 13.134. The assessment is $262,044. The minimum required local contribution for Southwick is $11,028,016. Tolland, $236,120. Granville, $1,618,844. Discretionary charges for Southwick at an apportionment percentage of 85.310. The assessment is $1,425,680. Tolland at an apportionment percentage of 2.218. The assessment is $37,067. Granville at an apportionment percentage of 12.472. The assessment is $208,429. Non-discretionary charges to assessments to the town. Southwick, $106,467,000. I'm sorry, I misspoke. $106,467. Tolland, 0. Granville, $64,509. This brings the total assessments to the three towns as follows. Southwick, $15,381,890. Tolland, $378,294. And Granville, $2,323,921. Recommended.
All right. Sounds good. So that's just added. We don't need to do that because I already did the adjustment. So those are the new ones. So anybody, any questions or comments on this? All right, let's do a voice vote. Russ,
Yes.
Jen.
Yeah.
Melissa.
Yeah.
Rob's a yes. Amanda, that motion passes 4-0-0. So we will get those updated warrant articles out.
I already typed them.
Oh, okay. So tomorrow?
Yeah, I guess my only question would be, do you want me to pop the capital items on there too? And they're not touched, they're the same amounts,
You can
but
put them on
so
there.
they have them all
Yeah,
together.
put them all on there. That way they've got them. There's no change, but make sure they understand, no changes to capital.
I'll put that in the body of the email, so they know the only
Right.
thing that changes was the.
And then the only other thing for new business is that Wednesday evening at 6, we are having that special finance subcommittee meeting.
In the library?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna have it in the library. We've invited all 3 selectmen, people, and the finance committees of all 3 towns. We are just gonna go over the importance of getting that track restored and the dangers and the cons of not doing it now. So make sure everybody's on the same page. I am certainly anticipating that there might be a question or two based on the decision that we just made tonight. To add that to reduce their assessment. And I think it's certainly going to be an opportunity for self to bring up what we talked about tonight to them, to let them know as to what we're looking to do about fiscal year 28 now, so that they can all get involved and get a heads up that we're going to need their involvement so that we can try to make this as smooth as possible here next year.
Yes.
I think it's just going to get more difficult.
I'm feeling like it's us versus them this year, and I've never felt that way. So I want to make sure that
Yeah,
I'm
I
hearing
mean,
the voices of everybody as we bring forward our budget.
No, absolutely. All right, with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, we're gonna do a voice vote to close the meeting. Russ,
Yes.
Jen.
Yes.
Melissa. Did we lose her?
Let's
Yeah.
close the meeting.
Yes, good. We can't. Meeting's open. Bob's a yes. Amanda, a motion passes 4-0-0. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Have a great evening.
Good night, Melissa.
Huh?